Thank you for the invitation.
Please,
We
please
are
don't
live.
call me ma'am. Yeah, we are live. Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So, good evening, everyone, and good evening to everyone from across the nation also who has joined Metamorphosis today after a long, long break and a long time. Now, today, here we are for a different session, for a different connection connected to education, which we call as Kavya Guftugu. Kavya is actually given to a name for a poetry reciting, and Guptagu is the hidden conversations, which we call the conversation that the poetic language speaks, which not many are able to understand. But the verses that we write on the poetry line, the verses that we write in our poems, are only understandable by few of us, those who have actually have a feeling and a depth of poetry. So before I start and introduce my wonderful, awesome poets of metamorphosis, starting with today, let's see how many join for this overcome session, and then I'll introduce one by one. So when life feels like it's trying to break you, it is because you are ready to be put back together differently. Every piece of you that feels shattered is a piece that will find a new place, a new purpose, a new meaning. Trust that the cracks are where the light gets in. And sometimes in our brokenness, we find the greatest wholeness. We find the courage to rebuild, to reimagine, to redefine what it means to be strong and to love and accept ourselves, to be who we truly are underneath the layers of self protection, to nurture ourselves and to give ourselves space to grow, thrive, and create our best lives. You are not being broken, you are strong and you are breaking through. So this is what metamorphosis is all about. From a cocoon, the caterpillar emerges, becomes a butterfly, and metamorphoses into a beautiful butterfly that is going to spread its wings far and wide. So today, here we are for the Lit Fest, which we call the Kavya Guptugu recitation of poetry and awareness of how literacy can be created in our education system, where the English language teachers are not able to understand the perspective and how children can be given the connection to recite poems even at the age of 10. Children want certain kinds of themes, certain kinds of anecdotes, but they are not trained enough to channelize their learnings in this path. So today I have a plethora of poets, I will say, not members, not speakers, a plethora of poets. Let me see how the science gets connected to Litfest. The humor gets collected into the Litfest using poetry, language, and all. And we have speakers from across the globe also and from all over India also. And they all have been writing poetry, I think, since for many platforms, having won many certificates. And it's an honor to have you all on today's Kavya Guftagu session. So before I start, I would like to introduce and welcome Jelena ma'am from, I think, Croatia. Jelena ma'am, are you from Croatia?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
We have Jenny ma'am from USA, one of
yes.
the
I'm interesting today interview. I'm interesting today. Today
wonderful.
interesting interview team is very interesting. All the human population in the world.
Thank you so much.
In the world and the world, the professional educator, business process, medicine, and etc. Special complexity, human and artificial intelligence interaction.
Wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Then we have Shakuntala Kanagiri, silent member of Metamorphosis. Now I'm going to bring her on the forefront very much now. We
Yes,
have
yes.
Pami ma'am also, a silent member, now on the forefront, visible. Then we have Anupama ma'am also, a poet by heart. We have Prachi, a new member. Definitely, I'm going to pull her also out from the cocoon now to share her words and poetic verses. And we have Sonal Seth ma'am, a very, very supportive member of Metamorphosis from the last 4 years, I will say, and 5 years of our connection with me. So, welcome to all of you. It's an honor to have each one of you on this platform. And let me see how we, as global change makers, I will say, create awareness on how this Lit Fest can go education and beyond, not only connecting academics, but far beyond academics also. So my first round will be, I think I will start from Anupama ma'am. Please introduce yourself in short and take over. The stage is yours with your brief, small introduction, your connection with metamorphosis, your experience on metamorphosis, your, I will say, what are you doing, your profession, and carry forward the session with your perspectives and your poem. Welcome, ma'am.
Yes,
You're muted, ma'am. You're
yes,
muted. You're muted, ma'am.
yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Sonal Jaz ma'am, for this opportunity. Namaste, good evening, good morning to everyone on this platform. And first of all, I'd like to thank Sonal Jaz ma'am for this opportunity and this wonderful platform to express our feelings and a way to connect with the other writers. So, as the topic for today, you've mentioned it's regarding poetry and how it affects and how it is in the curriculum, how it has to be enhanced more for more and more new students to learn the different forms of poetry. So before I move on to it, a short introduction. I'm a writer from Mumbai. I work for a corporate organization since the past 28 years, I would say. And writing has been my hobby as such. And I like connecting with people. And through this hobby of writing, uh, I have come across many new writers from all over. And it's a good way to express ourselves. And somewhere we find a connect through this common link as such. And I'm also the founder of a writing community called Poesy Tales, which is completing 5 years this particular month. So, Sonal Jas ma'am, thank you so much for this opportunity once again. And as you mentioned, when we talk about literacy and more about poetry, how it affects and how it has to be improved for more and more students to come forward. Basically, in the school, what we have learned are the proper forms of poetry, and since our school days, and I should like to mention, like school days, the poems which we learn right from the nursery rhymes, they uh, they are deep rooted in our heart. So the nursery poems also, even after I would say 50 years, crossing 50 years of age, they are deeply rooted in our brain and our heart, and they have a special form and thing. So wherever, like we as we grow, we have more and more feelings for it, like so you can say the nursery rhymes, twinkle twinkle little star, or the poems, William Wordsworth's poems, daffodils, and some of these poems which we have learnt. So they have taught us what actually poetry is all about. And the connection towards poetry comes from there, because the words which they have expressed, we feel that we can always relate to it, because in whatever form they write, the words, sometimes we feel, we often think of those feelings, but not many of us are able to express in the way which some of the renowned poets are able to express. So I think that form of poetry, through learning, the students can definitely uh, come to that particular stage, like. And if poems are introduced right from a young age, and if many of them, if they are from a different field, and you say you're a poet, in the beginning they're a little very, oh, poem means it's some big words or something out of their category. But somewhere poem is the words or the feelings of every person which they express, and which forms a home in the heart of every person. So if you can relate through words, that is where you are forming a bonding with the other person. So it's nothing complex. So that is the one thing which uh, we need to connect with others, and this form of connection can come right from the school days, where the students learn about poetry. So instead of developing a fear among the students about poetry, I feel they should have a nice balance, where they get to learn new words, and they want to know more about it, the different forms of poetry, the richness about the poetry, and the vocabulary which will increase due to the new words which they learn. So in the developing years, if all this is taught even at the school stage, somewhere I feel a good level will be formed for the students, and they will be more confident when they come in the outside world, and when they are even in their job field, or they the early stage which you have the stage fright. So all that slowly over the years it will be developed through the vocab, because once you are comfortable in what you speak, then the confidence goes on increasing, and the stage fright will also decrease once you get that confidence in yourself. So this is where we need to develop the students, because nowadays you see many of the personality developing development courses, even many middle-aged people want to enroll for it, because somewhere they find they are lacking in expressing themselves. So if the same ability is built in the school days, I'm sure each and every person will be a confident speaker and a orator. So these are some of my thoughts.
You
And
can share your poem, ma'am. I think
yes,
because, yeah, because जब हम छोटे थे, when we were small, do we
huh,
remember our parents used to sing those लोरिया
yes,
सुनाते
Correct.
yes,
थे. तो वो
correct,
लोरिया एक्चुअली पोएम्स ही है.
Lullabies.
bilkul,
वो poems ही है.
yes,
But they used
yes,
to sing and make us sleep. The
yes,
lullaby which you say, the lullabies. So
yes,
these are the poems which parents used to use as stress busters for us to
right,
relieve us from colic pains, to relieve
yes,
us from small ailments, which as neonates and toddlers, we are not able to express the pain that we feel. But when they
correct,
sing the syllables and when they sing the lullabies and the loria, एक
yes,
वो एक थेरेपी जैसे होता था और हमें नींद आ जाती थी. तो क्या
bilkul,
जादू था उसमें? क्या
yes,
जादू था उसमें? क्या वो कनेक्शन था उसमें कि हम छोटे बच्चे वो स्पर्श समझ पाते थे एंड वी
yes,
यूज्ड टू कनेक्ट आवर माइंड, हार्ट एंड soul. So as
yes,
we keep growing, life changes, situations
yes,
change, responsibilities change, then
bilkul,
these areas get escaped somewhere or the other, and then comes as a empty nest syndrome where the poems come back again into our lives in a different
correct,
way, using the
yes,
Correct.
life's perspective, the life's challenges. तो वो
yes,
कनेक्शन बचपन से ही when we come out from the from the fetus to adulthood, there is
yes,
a total metamorphosis,
correct,
total
Definitely.
change of लोरिया से लेके poems life को लेके फिर what we have seen, what the challenges we have faced. So it's like, I think Jalina ma'am will also agree, a scientific research has to be done into this, that what is actually hidden in this, that we all are connected through poems, not with each other, but थ्रू आवर सोल एंड हार्ट वी आर एक्चुअली कनेक्टेड. वो अंदर सप्रेस
bilkul,
हो जाता है. तो कहीं
bilkul,
ना कहीं वो दबाव डाल दिया जाता है कि "श्श, चुप रहे, तेरे को नहीं आता है, मत
huh,
बोलना या पब्लिक में मत करना, या
hmm,
हमारी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी, या वी आर नॉट एबल टू फॉर्म द वर्ड." तो वो चाइल्डहुड से ही बच्चों को स्टॉप किया जाता है and then they are not able to express. So here what I'm trying to change the scenario is give children as much as chance to express themselves, because it is a very, very good mental health booster also. We
bilkul,
will
yes,
not need medicines, we will not need any kind of BP, antidepressants, because when we start writing poems, our totally body chakra balancing happens.
yes,
This is the
yes,
magical therapy of writing poems and calling all of you over here to share your views on the
yes,
medicinal and the nutritional aspect of Lit Fest. So please share your poem that you have written, ma'am.
yes,
Action
yes,
हो, थोड़ा सा एक्शन हो जाए, थोड़ा अच्छा फन वे हो जाए, थोड़ा क्रिएटिव हो जाए.
yes, sure, ma'am. Poetry के बारे में है, few lines about it. So as you rightly said, ma'am, it's a form of expression. So poems are a form of expression when words embrace each other, emotions pour like lava, thoughts float like breeze, feelings pierce the heart. There is turbulence in the grey matter. The creation which is formed grips the soul. The formation has tremendous ability. They can gently caress oneself or awaken one from the stupor. They have no boundaries or barriers. Through limited words, they convey simple thoughts. Such is the power of poetry. Such is the power of poetry. Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent.
Thank
So this
thank
is
you.
what, see, this is what we call as where we all need a comfort zone, where we are non-judgmental, where we are not able to uh, create barriers. So this is the freedom given to each and every one where we can express openly and share our views across the world, across the globe. So now I think we are live across 40 countries where we never know who is watching where and when after the session or something like this. So let us create an awareness to our words, to our poetic languages, to our expression, and be the change makers in the real sense. Thank you so much, Anupama ma'am, for being a
Thank you.
part of today's show.
Thank you.
So before I invite another change maker, a small sharing of something very, very that is going to create a perspective towards the actual mindset of the society. The lie said to the truth, let's take a bath together. The well water is very nice. The truth, still suspicious, tested the water and found out it was really very nice. So they got naked and bathed. But suddenly, the lie leapt out of the water and fled, wearing the clothes of the truth. The truth, furious, climbed out of the well to get her clothes back. But the world, upon seeing the naked truth, looked away with anger and contempt. Poor Truth returned to the well and disappeared forever, hiding her shame. Since then, the lie runs around the world dressed as the truth, and the society is very happy because the world has no desire to know the naked truth. The mindset of the society in general through my words of lie and truth story. So this is
Right.
what we need to change the perspective.
Beautiful.
Let truth be truth. Let the lie not jump into the well and betray the truth. Let truth shine through our words, through our poems, through our lyric verses, or whatever we write. So over to my next change maker. I would like to invite Parvinder Nagi, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am, and wish you a very, very belated happy birthday for your mom's 98th birthday. So it's a very big
Thank you.
thing for you also and for all of us also to have seen, I think, more than septuagenarians to achieve. Yesterday only we were talking, I think, with my kids and all. Okay, what is it that the olden people of last yesteryears are able to live at the age of 90 to 98? What is the reason behind it? Why today's generation is not even able to live in a peaceful way at the age of 50 and 60? 98 is a wonderful, wonderful, I think, age, touchwood. And definitely we would like to hear from you the secrets and share with us your little more nuggets so that we also can live that age healthy, hearty, and happily. Over to you, ma'am. Introduce about yourself and your
Yeah.
poem.
Yeah. Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me on this great platform where we share with each other, we know each other, and we are in connect with the global poets, writers, authors. So it's a great joy to me. And I would like to tell you that, yeah, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm principal from senior secondary schools, India, from north side, north zone. And my interest in poetry came from, I was inspired by William Wordsworth. I visited the UK, Grasmere, Lake District, where he lived in Dove Cottage there. So when I visited that, I was really inspired by, I saw the place where he sat and he used to write his poetry, his verses, and he used to write letters to his sister, and I was very much impressed. And slowly I came into poetry, writing poetry. Yeah, and I would like to also tell you that poetry is kind of an art. It is a piece of craft. Your words, your symbolism, metaphors, and everything. Whatever you write down, you read, and it's an visionary, it's imaginary art. That is what poetry is. It comes directly through your heart and mind. The words which you cannot express, you can write down. You can write and express yourself, your emotions, your sensations. Sometimes you cannot tell somebody, but you can definitely write down, you can pen down. And same things as ma'am earlier said that children, they uh, narrate, they recite the poems, Twinkle, Twinkle, and many more. Like, we used to enjoy ourselves also. And this is what they are engraved in our minds, and that is what we look forward even today. We love the children dancing, playing around us, and singing. And definitely we encourage them. And that is what is all about poetry. And actually, in the schools, we definitely every week, as we ask the children to prepare themselves for one or the other article, something thought of the day, and everything. This is a collection of imaginary, a collection of an art, piece of art. Uh, that is what we always appreciate about others. And once we want to express ourselves, we write down, we mention whatever we want to, and it's easier for us to express, to connect with others. And poetry is a platform where we are connected all over the globe, across the bridges. The literature connects us across the bridges. And that is the most wonderful thing, I think so. And how nice it is, like even today we are connected from different places. And for the first time, although we are meeting, but really it's a great pleasure knowing all of you. And I would like to, first of all, read, since it is Poetry Month, so I would like to say something on poetry. Let's celebrate poetry. Let's celebrate the magic of poetry, so beautiful, resonating like entwined strings, weaving the stories so nostalgic, spreading the beauty of its treasures. Through the bridges across the seas, binding the nations with unity and peace. Whilst rearranging the sentences, touching your senses with endless emotions, the quill of every poet, sorry, weaving the dreams of his thoughts, giving the literary meaning. Let the readers receive the seeds of knowledge, the exuberance of poetry, leading to the new stories, leading the poetry to the soaring skies so beautiful, the blossoms of quill, revealing the mysteries of time, intoxicating poetry, and ode to the loving hearts, enriching the literature. So that is what poetry is all about. It's weaving the dreams of thoughts. Sorry.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing your views, your perspectives, and it's an honor to have you on platform. And definitely more looking forward to. And we'll be launching some new shows where I will be inviting each one of you not to share your journey, but to share your wisdom knowledge. I will say. I
Thank you.
always say it's not about a journey; it's about wisdom knowledge where people who might be facing a little bit of suppression or something can be inspired to people like you all from small instances in life. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your verses
Thank
and
you.
over to you. Best wishes always. So moving
Thank you
on to
so
my
much.
next,
Thank you.
moving on to my next poetic change maker, I would like to call upon Shakuntala ma'am to share your views, your perspectives, your experience about you and your poem. Over to you, ma'am. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Soda Judge, for having me here. And dear wonderful poets from all over the world, thank you so much here for it's a beautiful occasion for me to be with you all and hearing you all for the first time. I hope I get some kind of an incentive from seeing you all. I will certainly get, I think, the way people have been talking over here. So Yes, as far as my introduction goes, my name is Shakuntala. I'm from Andhra, but I have moved all over. I would say, in India and outside of India because of my husband's job. I've got two sons. My husband retired as an aeronautical engineer. He worked for avionics as an additional general manager. So this is about my family. My children are settled outside. Uh, Coming back to my education, yes, I did my post graduation. Then I did my B.Ed also. I cannot call myself a typical teacher like you all here because I've been on and off on teaching jobs because of the transfers and all, and also because of some household situations and circumstances and all. So my last teaching episode, I would say, was in Bangalore. That was about more than 10 years back. And I taught junior college. That was Sacred Heart Junior College. So I was teaching PUC first year and PUC second year. So that was the last stint I had. I started as a primary school teacher. Then I was called on and off, and I taught ninth class. Then when I came here, I taught the PUC. So I think in phases, I seem to have given my whatever little bit of contribution I could do, I did. And I hope, I mean, it went well, but I can't say that, like you're talking in educators, today's educators terminology and all. Maybe I'm a little old fashioned or outdated with information that is going around now. And yes, I've certainly learned from all of you the way you've been going about. It's a pleasure to be with all of you here. As far as poetry is concerned, it was never deliberate. It happened accidentally. And now when I reflect back, I think right from my childhood days, I think Sonal ma'am only said, about the rhymes and all that we pick up from schools and all. No, Anupama Kadwar also, she happened to mention that. And yeah, somewhere, from schools, we learned certain rhymes and all. Some of them, they remained in our subconscious. And even to this day, they do surface often. And we remember them. That's how well we learned it, that even to this day, we cannot wipe them away from our memories, corridors like. So that way it started. Then as I grew up, used to write some small poems for my father, for my brothers, on their birthdays and all. So I used to make small greeting cards and write a few rhyming lines and all, and give it to them as birthday cards. Then, of course, in between, life was hectic, and that somehow got buried some way in the sands of time, I would say. Then after that, when we came to Bangalore and my children and all flew away from my nest, and all, so I thought I got some kind of a time for me to reflect on something. And even this also accidentally happened because once I was going through the FB and I found some literary portal over there. I don't even remember exactly the name, but they had asked for some submission on some topic. And when I happened to write on it, and I got kind of a recognition for it, and I stood first among the rest of the lot. That sort of propelled me. I said, okay, why not take this up? And ever since, I didn't even know that such groups existed on FB. And this had really propelled me into actually thinking, exploring, finding out. And even without my intervention, also, I started getting requests, friends' requests, and all. So that's how a family like this, I think, even if I'm able to sit here and talk to you all, I think thanks to Facebook, thanks to these literary groups, thanks to people like Sonal and all. I think Sonal also just sent me a request, isn't it, Sonal? So yeah, that's how I happened to join. Otherwise, I didn't know about, sorry, I didn't know about metamorphosis also. And what actually immediately, I generally take some time to say yes or no. But then when I saw the title, like metamorphosis over there, that really impressed me. And it's such a beautiful world that we keep on transforming ourselves from stage to stage, year to year, person to person. So it's a lovely caption that you have given over there, and fantastic metamorphosis. Yeah, I may not be able to contribute as much as these people have been doing, but yes, I liked, and I'll stick around on this platform definitely, at least to listen to you all, see you all.
I will.
Yeah.
I would like to say, you all are just like silent cheerleaders. Silent cheerleaders for each and every one of you. Glance and then you move on. And if you feel there's a traffic, you just pass on and change the gear and just pass on. And if you find something interesting to see the vehicle, you stop and see, oh yeah, this is what interested me. So it's like a kind of a stopover. In fact, many people are still not aware of what is actually metamorphosis and what work it does. So slowly, now it is getting a little bit of recognition, and people are trying to understand what is actually metamorphosis. So it is not only a poetry platform, it is not only an education, it's a multi-dimensional learning platform where I call people from diverse fields who can contribute in some way or the other in the education. Because as an educator and as a vice principal now in a school, I have seen and I've been seeing this, the training institutes do not equip the teachers with the desired skills that they need to be equipped on. Even
Yeah.
now, the teachers are not well versed with the strategies to be experimented in the classroom and how children can be given learning strategies to create poems, to create small words, connecting small words. Why English is still not being picked up by the children of today? What is the lapse in the system? Where are teachers lacking in between? We are only focusing on academics. Academics children will definitely shine depending on the pressure provided by the parents and the school to overshine them. But then they lack in the other areas of life. And because of this lacking, because of this vacuum created, they are not able to build a next kind of a vocational career which can give them learning income and stabilize the economy of the country also. We are only focusing on academics, engineering, doctor, okay,
Mhm.
corporate jobs, nothing, teacher in the school. At these 4, 5 dimensions are there. Apart from this, there are 10,000 talents which the children need to be untapped on. And these untapping can be done through people like us who can knock on the doors of the minds of the dormant minds, which we say. So once that bombardment is done, automatically the mind awakens, and then that realization dawns in, oh yes, this is also what needs to be taken out from the oyster. Because we are not able to drown ourselves into the ocean for the fear of getting drowned or fear of whatever the reasons, we are not aware. So that drowning has to be given and let the child go deep under the ocean, trace themselves, equip themselves with people from diverse fields so that their talents get on the forefront. So this is the reason why metamorphosis has come. Like we have Jenny ma'am focusing on human in classroom, different fields, ethical professionalism, digital ethics and all these kind of things are not taught in the teacher training institute. And that
Yeah.
is where the soft skills and the image building skills are lacking in each and every educator currently employed in a school. तो दे आर लाइक ओके करिकुलम मिल गया एकेडमिक प्रेशर आ गया वो खत्म करना है एंड अदर जो एरियाज है वो सारे बंद हो जाते हैं जिसकी वजह से बच्चा इंटरव्यू में जब जाता है तो सेलेक्ट नहीं हो पाता है नो मैटर व्हाट्स लैकिंग और व्हाट फ्रंट only God knows. So here we can open the can and remove the worms and fill the can with whatever each one of us can contribute so that the child gets what is healthy for his mind and body and the learning also. So thank you so much, Shakuntala. And your poem, I think did you say your poem is due?
Okay. Since
Yes.
everybody's, I mean, reciting some poem on poetry itself, I might as well do the same thing over here. So I also penned a few words on poetry here. What poetry is to me? Poetry to me is an ocean of words bobbing and bouncing, inundating my senses, flapping and fluttering. Emotions on a roller coaster journey, exciting. Feelings rushing to ferry my ponderings. Undulating thoughts eagerly awaiting to elucidate sentimental expressions surging, explicating my myriad reflections hovering in the deep recesses of my mind, unwinding, floating and flowing with a fervor invigorating, interpreting my ideas and ideological musings, explaining moods and tempers swinging, exploring the intensities of life and living, reminiscing, recalling, reflecting on my experiences and perceptions, flitting, thoughts buzzing and swirling in a magical resurgence, sensibilities and sensations flapping, seeking an escape into the realms of pristine poetic effulgence. That's mine.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Thank you.
This is what we call a comfort zone. We are not here to judge each other. We are not here to see each other through the lens that we are always given by the society. We have our own eyes, we have our own sixth sense to understand each other. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of today's Kavya Guftugu, and it's an honor to have such wonderful people on the platform. Looking forward to your contribution more ahead in different areas of learning, I will say, where we can bring awareness on different topics, not connected only to education, but education and beyond, I will say, literacy and beyond. So thank you so much, ma'am. And
Thank you.
over to my next speaker before I introduce her. She is, I think, the first time member also and the first time contributor writing of the poetry. So uh, for you, Prachi, I will be sharing a small poem. Please listen. And this is, I think, an English poem, Leisure by W.H. Davies. तो आपने अभी नया-नया जॉइन किया है, तो आपके लिए ये मैं पोएम बोल रही हूँ. What is this life full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. Don't waste it. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep and cows. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. No time to see in broad daylight, streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to burn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they dance. No time to wait till a mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life, this is it, full of care. We have no time to stand and say. So be an active contributor. You have the words, you have the enthusiasm of writing, and this poem is especially for you. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. So don't waste your life. Start writing and start be an active member of Metamorphosis. Over to you, Prachi. Introduce about yourself,
Thank you.
your poem, and your perspective.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And before I start, I really want to thank you. Thanks to each and every respected member over here, especially Sonal ma'am. Thank you so much for providing us such beautiful platform where we can explore, where we can, yes, enjoy, where we can express whatever is there in our mind and soul. That somewhere filter us inside and bring out what is there in our, the cluster that we keep in our mind. Thank you so much, ma'am, for keeping forth this platform. And before I start, yes, I want to introduce myself. I'm Prachi Parwani from Africa. I'm here since 14 years. I'm married 14 years since, and I'm born and brought up in Delhi, India. But because my husband's business is here, so we have been shifted here. And I'm a mother of 10 years old. And that is the reason why I'm here in front of you. He's the biggest reason why I'm here alive in front of you also, I can say, because he's a miracle child that I have got. So, and of course, if I start with the poetry day, yes, I can say he's my role model. He's someone who's very special to me, and I'm a proud mother. I always say I'm a proud mother of a 10 years old who always encouraged me, Mama, do this thing. Mama, this is the thing. Mama, this is the that. And somewhere he encourages me to write. I was not aware of this thing that I can write. I'm a graduate. I'm master's in philosophy, MPhil in English. I've worked in a reputed school in India, Delhi, for 9 years. Teaching was also, it came out because of the passion that I have for kids. I love kids in any form. So that was my weakness also, I can say. And somewhere it gave me the encouragement to create something, to innovate something. And the second thing, my mother. She's very creative. She's very innovative. So somewhere, I'm so blessed that I have been surrounded with so beautiful people around me. So about this metamorphosis, as I got to know about this page via, I can say proudly, via Dr. Ritu Malhotra ma'am, and she's my inspiration, I can say. She certainly, encouraged me to write. She has given me one of the topic for article she need to submit, and she said, "Okay, Prachi, can you write?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. Why not? If you can encourage me, I will definitely write." That was my first article submission that I did for her. And after that, I felt like, yes, I can do. And then I got a project from my son's school. And I was so shivering inside that how can I write? I'm not that kind of person who can write. Yes, I can do other things. I'm creative and craft and other things. I've been teacher for 9 years. I can do certain things, but how can I write? And you won't believe, my son helped me to write that poem, the vocabulary part, how to fix it. It was very kiddish though, but I was so happy to write that poem for him. And yes, as Anupam ma'am said, the twinkle, twinkle, and those tiny, tiny rhymes definitely give us encouragement.
That means
And I used to sing for him.
you were here for the right reason, for the right purpose now.
I know. So I always cherish this thing that my son always being there, and I can say proudly that he's already, been appreciated by the teachers. That he's so presentable. He present each and everything so nicely in front of us, whether it is a presentation, whether it is a poem, short poem that he has written. I will definitely say after I finish this. He wrote by himself. He got as a project from the school, and he said that my mom helped me. Of course, I will help him with vocabulary part, with some other, but I don't know how to mix and merge them. Even today, I can't write a poem in that professional way, but yes, I will try, because I really feel that poems are literal, expression where we can express ourselves. That we have already said that it is a way that how we can express the deepest core of our heart and soul. So this is how I am doing. When I posted the very first poem in Metamorphosis and ma'am replied me, that also stuns me. Oh, okay, ma'am liked the poem and she printed it up for me. That means I'm doing a little bit good and I can do it. So that was the encouragement that I've got from Sonal ma'am also. But certainly, I feel that this is a belief, this is an empathy that we can share via poem. This is a literal expression that we can use whenever we are touchy, when we are emotional. We can bring out what is there in our, in our soul, in our brain, and we can filter it out. So once again, Sonal ma'am, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And along with that, yes, as I've said that 9 years I was a teacher, I've came across with many of the kids, and I remember one of my interview that I've given in school, and I was not prepared that much. I just went off like that, and they said that you have to speak out a poem for banana. So for 5 minutes, it took me 5 minutes. What poem I can say for banana? To teach a child about a fruit, you have to speak a poem. Okay, and it can be in Hindi, it can be in English, it can be in any language, but you have to speak up a poem to introduce banana to a child. So I started up and I was so nervous inside that banana and a poem, how what is the connection between that? But on the spot, I made that poem that I have told to the kids there and the teachers. Oh, banana, banana, it's a lovely fruit. It's in yellow color. It's when we peel out, we can, and this is the way I said, and I got selected as a teacher just because of that poem. They have not taken any other thing, the interview, they have not seen my certificates and anything, and just given me the job. So I said, this is also a way when we prepare a child's brain with this kind of creativity and innovation, that we have to sing a song for fruit, maybe for colors, maybe for flags, maybe for certain things, and that give me a point. And I was famous in that school that this teacher can prepare poem on any topic. Give him a topic and he will engage the kids and make them learn the new topics via poem. So I really, really feel that poetry really helps a child to go further, to understand various topics in a very beautiful way, in a creative way. I believe in that. And why? Because I am a mother now. Yes, every single day is, full of experience for me, full of innovation for me, because every single day my son wants a poem from me. Mama, can you make a poem out of the flowers? Mama, I have a Buddha photo at my home and say, you have to create a poem out of this. I said, come on, please give me a break. How can I make a poem? But that is a challenge that I always cross by because of my son. So as I've told you, my son is my inspiration. Yes, I want to say a poem also that I have wrote for Metamorphosis also, that my son is a blessing from universe. I really believe that. The day when you arrived in my tiny world of spikes, those tiny fingers when holding my finger tight, sparkling eyes showed love at first sight, lovely fragrance that made me mesmerize, soft cheeks I cuddled endless times, and it is a true blessing. That is a gratitude of mine. I got someone who is just alike. Blessed with a baby is more than a life. Loving you, caring you is what make my life bright. Only one thought, to always hold you tight and ask God what better I can be blessed more than you are my cutie pie. Fortunate enough to grow up with spirit high, nurture you, polish you bright. Let me allow you to fly, allow you to open your wings wide. May this blessing take you to the bestest slide that take you directly to the success glide. I'm blessed to be your mommy standing always by your side. Grow beautiful. You can trust and keep your fear aside. You're a blessing that is my lifetime pride. And I'm definitely going to continue with this thing, exploring more, making more poems, and indulging myself to make my son
Yes,
learn more via
there's
this
a
poetry.
wonderful, wonderful Prachi. There's a lot hidden coming in coming days ahead. So I'm not that active now, but definitely I will be launching some new shows connecting to these kind of things. And I think since we all are here
Thank you so
very
much.
closely connected with mothers, mothers are the anchors to which we are connected to heart and soul. And कहीं ना कहीं हमारे hearts में वो छुपा हुआ है कि आज जो भी है हम हमारी mothers की वजह से है in different ways or the other. So since you shared that your son is an inspiration, and from that you started igniting that hope of writing and bringing glory to your untapped talent that was hidden. So looking forward to more of such contributions from you and for your son. And that is why the caption that I gave for this post for this event was Edu Thrill. Edu Thrill.
Yeah,
Education with a thrilling splurge of
thrilling.
emotions and all. So, Pammi ma'am also is connected with mom. You also sharing the poem from a perspective of mom. Jenny ma'am is also very close to mom. I've been seeing her pictures with mom. So, before I invite Jenny ma'am and Jelena ma'am for this and the others, a small contribution from my side to all the mothers. I learned from my mother that women are strong, that life can be difficult, but we go on. She taught to be soft on those finding life hard, to help protect those who've already been scared, to work when I need to, but otherwise play. That night times for dreaming, and so is the day. To stand up to those who would walk over me, to hold up my head when I'm down and feel weak, to only apologize when I'm wrong, to know that there's always a place I belong, to trust in my future and treasure my past, to smash it each time that the ceiling is glass, to find the lessons in relationships lost, because some things in life are not what they cost. But what she taught most about life and of worth was that it is only the best that I deserve. And maybe your mother, my mother, our mother has taught us all the same. But if she has not, well, then I'm here today. We all are here today to say that you too deserve only the best, to live out the life that exists in your head, to find your own strength and to dream and stand tall, to trust you might fly when you think you could fall. But never stop dreaming and never give up, because mother or not, you are worthy of mother or not, you are worthy of love. So we all are here to spread love for each other through our emotions, through our poems, through our lyric verses. And Jalina ma'am, over to you. Thank you, Prachi, for being here and for being sharing your verses and your inspiration. Your son, hats off to him for giving you that
So much,
beacon
ma'am.
of hope to start writing and keep writing ahead more. So thank you for being a part of today's Kavya Guptugu. So I would like to
Thank you
invite
so much.
Jelena ma'am to share about herself and to hear each one of us perspectives, to share how science, since she is a researcher, how science can connect our internal system, internal mechanisms of body through our lyrics and verses and help us in a better way. So over to you, Jelena ma'am, to share your perspective. Welcome, ma'am, Jelena ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, good day, afternoon, good evening. Respected ma'am, Professor Dr. Sonal Kimar Jai, lady and gentlemen. Today, lady, now gentlemen. I owe special thanks for invitation to speaker and to send my word. Greeting on the organizer interesting section, English Literature Fest, from the founder Metamorphosis, Madam Sonal Kumar Jai. Metamorphosis is very interesting and important in the world, in the process education in much country. Important. Let's not be afraid of perfection. We will never achieve it. Is a very, very important quote. My topic today, the complexity of human artificial intelligence interaction. Artificial and intelligence is a comparative analysis of research, take provide reflection on the evolutionary relationship between artificial intelligence, abbreviation AI, and human intelligence. My lecture today deals with the possibility, limitation, and potential synergy between artificial intelligence system and human cognitive ability. It offers a comprehensive expansion of the impact of AI on various aspects of society, from healthcare and finance and special education and creativity, while addressing the ethical and philosophical issue surrounding the coexistence of artificial and human intelligence. As I'm genetics, I thought about how to tell everything in my own world through an interesting scientific work explaining the complex interaction between AI and human truth. Today, when we look at biological science, especially neurobiology, biology may question areas that science does not have answer to. It is also important to note that Charles Darwin's theory of the origin of species is a hypothesis, but it has not been scientifically confirmed. Not only this theory, but also numerous scientific hypotheses, especially from the nature science, have not been fully clarified. Philosophy as the queen of all science, three, to provide certain knowledge in a logical way, intellectual especially, university professor and the scientist must be curious in order to create, to grace possible scientific work and be able to understanding the scientific field they teach to come up question to which science has not provided answer before students. It is especially important how our truth is formed. Nobel laureate Francis Crick did this for years and did not come to final results. We have genetics is interesting, and when all this is compared and AI complex system of thinking is created in us, no matter how much we know a scientific field did not. Interesting Salvador Dali. Intelligence without ambition is like a bird without wing. Artificial intelligence and human intelligence are inevitably compared. This confrontation is intrinsic to the history of AI. Some approaches are inspired by human cognition, while others are complexity independent from it. The imprecise and convergent definition of intelligence make this comparison likely. Consensus remain on the main elements, and AI seems to like in order to imitate human intelligence. The question for all on completion, in fact, raise ethical issue about use, purpose, and regulation of artificial intelligence. It is important to know truth is an extraordinary instrument for generating energy. Intelligence is not much use unless you are intelligent enough to know how to use it. Intelligence, the ability to adapt to change in the world. An intelligent mind is on the constantly learn and never concluded. An intelligent mind is mind a question of self-learned study. Artificial intelligence, AI, essentially the simulation of human intelligence in not possible. Today, AI can only simulate, replace, extend, or expand part of human intelligence. In the future, the research and development of cutting-edge technology such as brain-computer interface, BCI, together the development of the human brain, well, evolutionary user in strong AI era when AI can simulate and replace humans' imagination, emotion, intuition, potential, tacit knowledge, and other kind of personalized intelligence. Breakthrough in algorithm represented by cognitive computing promote the continuous penetration of AI into fields such as education, commerce, and medical treatment to build up service space aids to human concentration. Normally, what controls one between humankind and intelligence machine? The answer is that AI can only become a service provider for human beings, demonstrating the value rationally of following ethics. While artificial intelligence include technology that let computer mimic cognitive processes such as learning and problem solving, human intelligence is a collection of common mental traits such as creativity, participation, and memory. What is neurobiological basis of human intelligence? That adult human brain contain about 100 billion neurons plus about 8 billion more and about 100 billion more of these non-neurological cells is much complex our brain. DNA brain is 5% knowledge, and other DNA is junk. Is junk for all scientists. As humans, we have an unique ability to be creative and generate new ideas that can impact the world around us. Yet, artificial intelligence is a technology that has been developed to perform tasks that would otherwise require human intelligence, such as problem solving, language, skills, and decision making. For the topic, we will discuss understanding artificial intelligence and human creativity or intelligence is very important, either to determine who will win, namely artificial intelligence relies on algorithms and input data to operate and make decisions, while human creativity is influenced by various factors such as emotion, experience, and imagination. It is human population. Brain is big brain, and deficit. The fact that artificial intelligence has shown enormous potential in various industries such as healthcare, finance, manufacture, there are great limitations to what it can do. For example, artificial intelligence lacks the emotional intelligence, empathy that human possess, which can help in decision-making process that require empathy or intuition. Furthermore, AI lack to ability to experience emotional or personal connection, which are often driver of creativity. On the other hand, human creativity can be limited by time and available resources. Individuals may be limited by their current knowledge and experience, as well as external influence such as social or economic factors. However, humans have the ability to think outside the box, to generate ideas based on intuition and personal experience, which can lead to invention and progress. To finally understanding and compare the compatibility of AI and human creativity is important to acknowledge their difference and unique contributions. By collaboration and combine and strength of both, we can achieve even greater progress in different fields. The brain of some people seem to more efficient than those of others. Understanding of biological foundation of this difference is of great interest to basic and applied neuroscience. Somehow, the secret must lie cell our brain with which we think, However, at present, research into neurobiology of intelligence is divided between two main strategies. Brain imaging studies investigated macroscopic brain structure and function and identify brain is involved in intelligence, while genetic association study into point genes and genetic losses associated with intelligence. Much knowledge for human intelligence. Today, interesting human population, climate change, and artificial intelligence. No important genetic intelligence. Genetic intelligence, human population is important. The emergence of transcriptic and cellular neuroscience of intelligence might provide trace strategy and bridge gap between identify genes for intelligence and brain function and structure. Now knowledge. How here we discuss the last development of the such biological basis of intelligence, in particular, a recent availability in a very large cohort with hundreds of thousands of individuals who have propelled existing development in genetic of intelligence. Furthermore, we discuss the PES study to show the specific population of brain cells associated with intelligence. Finally, we highlight how specific genes that have been identified generate cellular property associated with intelligence and may ultimately explain structure and function brain areas involved. Therapy. The road is paved for a cellular understanding of intelligence, which will provide conceptual scaffold for understanding. Brain imaging provides the basis of research on neurobiology of intelligence by point out important functional and structural growth. Anatomical region imply intelligence, overall gray matter, value on thickness, white matter, integrity, cortex, and function in temporal, frontal and partial cortex. However, it's clear that neuroimaging in the present form enabled to provide temporal spatial resolution to study computational building block tool brain neuron synapticons. On the other hand, genome-wide association study, GWAS, helps scientists identify gene associated with particular diseases and the trait. This method study the intercept of DNA, the genome, a large group of people searching for small variation called single nucleotide polymorphism or synapse. Studies have focused other extreme of the spectrum of the gene of intelligence. It's interesting genetic intelligence, much investigation. What type of neuron implicated in human intelligence? Much knowledge, 15 transcriptic, pyramidal cell, mice, and different areas. The brain contains no set transcriptic type. Artificial intelligence at human level. AI is one, the most debated subject of today, and there seems little common understanding concentrated the difference and similarity human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is much problematic for human population. And now better human intelligence. What is real intelligence is very interesting question for scientists. Well, we are probably not smart, we are think. Limited cognitive capacity. Now limit cognitive capacity. DNA is now knowledge. 5%. We have integrated cognitive basis. Interesting biological and machine, algorithm, heuristic, etc. General intelligence is not same as human-like intelligence. Fundamental difference between biological and artificial intelligence. When think and deliberate
Thank you so
about
much.
intelligence. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, dear
Thank you.
Professor Sonal.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Lecture is interesting our human population.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
So moving on to our next change maker, I will call a lady with a magical hat. Definitely, she brings laughter in the classroom of metamorphosis. I will say in the जब हम हमारे हिंदी में कहते हैं महफिल महफिल कहते हैं यहाँ पे so we call it as a galaxy of over to you, Jenny, ma'am. Introduce your insightful knowledge and start small kind of a humor into the poetry.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. I'm going to offer a program today on the topic of love. And so here is my very short poem before I get into my presentation. Roses are red, violets are blue. I love you. Do you love me too? Okay, that's it. And so I'm going to share my screen with you if you don't mind. Can I go ahead and do that? All right, where share screen? Sharing is not turned on.
You want to share your screen, ma'am?
Yeah, please. I have a slideshow that's going to go with my
Just
program.
let me see if I can make you all. Please check, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go here. If I can share here, share, and I'm going to go to this share. Okay, and now I want to go to slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation to be here, Dr. Sonal. We talked about the fact that I would be focusing on the literature aspect of our English Literature Fest today. And so the title of my presentation is Mail Order Brides. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Okay, so like many people, I'm trying to use literature to bridge the gap for students from our historical culture into our present day culture. So I hope to show in my presentation how past cultural norms became absorbed into our present societal behavior. So in my youth, I studied the settlement of the United States. My country started as 13 colonies under the rule of Britain, and things didn't work out so well. So in 1776, we declared our independence and we fought a war for independence. And along the way, we acquired territory and we fought a civil war, North and South, over the issue of slavery. And we started homesteading our Western territories. Throughout my life, I've read many books and seen many movies about mail order brides. The books were written by and about mail order brides. Could somebody mute their who has the throat problem? Could you mute your microphone, please? The books were written by mail order brides and are written about mail order brides who traveled from the east coast of America to the west to marry settlers and gold miners and people who had started ranches. So I'm not the only one that's fascinated by mail order brides. My search on Amazon.com shows that there are 9,000 books on the topic of mail order brides. So many Americans are fascinated by the stories of these women who accepted marriage proposals from men that they had never met. They just corresponded with them. Then they traveled west by train and married their husbands at the train station because from the train station they were going to go far away out into the homestead. So they got married at the train station and then went on to become farmers, ranchers, and homesteaders, raising families and settling the United States. I'm going on to my next slide. This map shows you that we have the southern states, which are here in the green, and the northern states. Then we have the territories. And I am talking about women who left these states here on the east and traveled out to the territories. So from the 4 years from 1861 to 1865, the US fought a civil war over this issue of slavery. And at the time of the 1850 census, there were 39.5 million people in the northern states, and 9 million lived in the southern states, with an additional 4 million of enslaved people. It is estimated that the death toll on both sides of the tragic Civil War was about 750,000 soldiers. This is like 750,000 people who died. So this created a shortage of men on the eastern coast and for the people in the north and the south. So many women still wanted to get married and they were having a hard time finding husbands. So they began to respond to advertisements in newspapers for men who were seeking wives. So I'm going to move to my next one. So marriage offered poor women a life of being a wife instead of a domestic servant. And this was one of the attractions that poorer women who on the East Coast during the man shortage, they said, well, maybe I don't want to be trapped in some low paying domestic maid job. Maybe I should take a chance and meet a man through the mail, get interested in him, and then travel to meet him. And the men would send the passage money, and the women would travel by train to get there. You see, the Western men who were gold mining, ranching, starting farms, they wanted to have a wife. They were very lonely. You know, they were happy that their careers were developing and that they had homesteaded their land, but they wanted a family. So they started advertising. There was the Matrimonial News paper that was published in San Francisco and Kansas City, and they would put ads in there talking about themselves, where they lived, and hoping to attract a wife back east. So when we look at the population on the East Coast at the time, these women, some of them lost their husbands in the Civil War, so they were widows. Some of them were people who were coming of age and had never been married, but there was a shortage of men. So it was very, very appealing to them to respond to these heart and hand clubs that offered opportunities to get married. So I'm going to move to my next slide. So the men did various things to attract women in their ads. They would, in several of the books I read by mail order brides, they mentioned how their prospective husband had posted in his ad that he had a canary or two because the women needed some company. They were out in the middle of nowhere on a homestead with a husband and there were no children yet. And so they got lonely, but if they put a canary in their kitchen, the canary would sing to them during the day. And I thought that was a very charming aspect. I'm sorry to ask, would the person who's continually clearing their throat, please mute yourself? Would you please do that for me? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So these were various ways that men try to attract women through their ads. And another big attraction was that they had a piano. Okay, so a woman out in the middle of nowhere, she was moving from, let's say, Boston or New York City. She couldn't very well carry a piano along with her, but the men would advertise that they had a piano. So in their ad, they wouldn't waste time on saying, tall, dark, and handsome man seeks wife. They would say, a man with a canary and a piano seeks a wife. And hopefully they would get some responses. So I'm going to move on to now how this is a part of the history that we learn as in school, that Sears, Roebuck and Company, which was a retail store that became a catalog store, they began to start shipping items by rail to the Western Territory. So the Union Pacific completed their railroad in 1869. And so that meant that people back east could ship goods of all kinds, especially Sears was very, very involved in shipping just about anything you wanted out to the prairies. And so they would go ship the piano. It would arrive in the train station nearest where the homesteader lived. And then they would take their horse-drawn buckboard and go pick up the piano and bring it to their homestead. But this actually worked. In some of the books that I read, the woman was happy that she was going to be able to have a piano in her house that she could play and teach her children to play. So I thought that was a very, very charming aspect of looking for a wife. Now, we in the United States and around the world, we still want to find love. You know, and so sometimes we're going online. I mean, I don't do it, but I've met many people who have gone online to eharmony.com. There are 10 very well-known dating sites in the United States. eHarmony is the number one. According to them, every 14 minutes, somebody finds love on eHarmony. I don't know that that's true, but I'm okay with that. And I found out, excuse me, I found out that there is also an Indian dating site that advertises on the, US websites and in India. It's called Imperial Matrimonial. And if you want to marry an American, you go and contact them, or they will also help you find an Indian man to marry if you wanted. So I don't know if the Indian men promise you canaries and pianos, but it's worth a shot. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that the heart can be a lonely hunter. People are willing to advertise to find a spouse. Some men will try hard to attract a mate, going to the point of actually buying you a piano. Many people today use online dating apps to find their love match. Imperial matrimony helps Indians find spouses in the US or India. I'd like to thank you very much for this invitation to contribute here today, and I'll stop sharing the screen now.
It was something different, and I always say that why you need a mate to when you have poems and verses. If you're lonely, those who have excellent partners and are still going on for the last 30 years, 20 years, hats off to all of us.
47
actually,
years here.
it's really nice if you are lucky in love and you find your partner. But I have never been lucky in love. And so I find that I'm pretty happy living on my own. But then again, I have never met a man who offered to buy me a piano. So maybe that would have been a game changer.
Wonderful, wonderful. It was nice
Yeah.
and informative, ma'am. And would you like to share any small poem for today? A small one.
A small one. Oh, you know what? My
You can
memory
share something from your heart.
my memory is kind of bad right now, but I have written a few poems in my life, and one of them, I hope I can remember it, is I had almost forgotten that Valentine stuffed with cotton, made from a shiny satin piece, hand sewn by my niece, with lace all around, with words embroidered so neatly. I love you so, dear Auntie. That's it.
Thank you so much.
And it choked me up a little bit.
So wonderful. It was really nice listening to each one of you and creating your own perspectives and filling us with something more informative and new also. And definitely looking forward to more such insightful learnings. And moving on to the last change maker of today. And I would like to invite Sonal Seth ma'am for sharing her perspectives for any poem, whatever she keeps write. In fact, she keeps writing love letters for me, a lot of love letters every now and then. So I've called her Lava now because the moment you just click with that she sent a message, I'm sure that lava is going to burst now. So over to you, Sonal Seth. Please share.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. My name is Sonal Seth. I am from Surat, Gujarat. I am a primary English teacher, a tutor, and even I am a social activist. I have my own NGO, Helping Hands Foundation Surat, and I am working for less privileged children and also senior citizens. So, actually, my writing journey is started with Sonal ma'am only. I had a dream to write, but I didn't took up a pen and write something. But after joining Metamorphosis, connecting to Sonal ma'am, I started writing little bit, and then I had a deep desire to write poems and writing in the books and all these things. This all my dreams had come true through Metamorphosis. So I have written one poem for my very best friend. I am considering her as a very best friend. I don't know if she is or not. I don't know that. It's in Hindi, and I have a poem in English also. I'll just say that. ये मेरी प्रिय सखी के लिए तुम हो इतनी खूबसूरत जैसे चांदनी की मुस्कान तुम हो
Wow.
इतनी खूबसूरत जैसे चांदनी की मुस्कान दिल में बसी है कोमलता जैसे कोई मधुर तान दिल में बसी है कोमलता जैसे कोई मधुर तान ईश्वर ने बड़े नाजों से तुम्हें प्यार से गढ़ा है ईश्वर ने बड़े नाजों से तुम्हें प्यार से गढ़ा है हर लम्हा तुम खिलखिलाओ, यही मेरी दिल से दुआ है। तुम्हारी हंसी के दीप जले, तुम्हारी हंसी के दीप जले, हर राह रोशन रोशन हो जाए। कोई सदा तुम्हारी खुशी के लिए अपनी दुआओं में पाए, कोई सदा तुम्हारी खुशी के लिए अपनी दुआओं में पाए। शी हैज अ बर्थडे टुमारो, सो ये पोयम डेडिकेट करती हूँ उसके लिए। विश यू
Wow.
वेरी हैप्पी बर्थडे।
Wow.
She's
बार
blushing
बार
actually there.
दिल ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुम जियो हजारों
हजारों साल.
मेरी है आरज़ू। हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे to my mentor, to my friend, to my everything. Thank you to my inspiration. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Even
much.
I have a poem written in English also. Can I share it?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. This is for the helping, regarding helping hands. I want to fly high. I want to fly high, touch the clouds, reach the sky. I want to fly high, touch the clouds, reach the sky. I wish to spread love. I wish to spread love, helping hands to rise above. I want to heal pain. I want to heal pain, give the poor no strain. I wish for smiles wide, joy and hope side by side. I want to teach all, guide them so they stand tall. I dream of a place full of kindness, full of grace. I want a world bright, no more fear, no more light. Let's bring peace and cheer, make this world shine clear. Let's bring peace and cheer, make this world shine clear. Thank you so much. This is from me.
thank you. Thank you
you
so much.
so
Thank you
much.
for your wonderful verses, wonderful words. Definitely.
These
Sorry.
all the words has come from Sonal ma'am only. She only inspired me to write. Otherwise, I didn't thought
Yeah,
of it.
she was hidden in a cocoon and had a fear of coming out. So I had to actually pull her out from the cocoon. कैटरपिलर बनने के मेटामॉर्फोस किया है उसको एंड आई मीन she has shaped herself into a wonderful writer now and sometimes now I think वो गुलजार को भी पीछे छोड़ जाएगी अब वो गुलजार को भी पीछे छोड़ जाएगी because the way she writes now the way she expresses herself through words and the hidden things that were suppressed inside her for years are now just blabbing out of the box and coming out bursting. So she never leaves an opportunity to keep writing. When I instruct her to write just 10 words, just 20 words, so I know she's not going to stop. And when she starts writing, it exceeds to 200 to 300 words. So वो इतना उसके अंदर, it is so suppressed inside her that she actually needed an outlet. And it is seen from her words, from the way she expresses, and actually transformed into a wonderful butterfly now. So hats off to you
Thank you, the
and for
universe.
growing.
Thank you, the universe, for connecting to with you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being a part of Metamorphosis and Kavya Guftugu today. It was a really, really worth the listening session. And definitely we will try to bring a little bit of change to here and there. And before we end this show, a small anecdote from my side. Children from a very young age should be taught that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. That if you point your right hand to the east, your face will face north and your back will face south. That the direction of the water in a river often runs towards the sea. That the moon rises in the east and sets in the west. And if there is no moon, there is a star that indicates the north and your latitude. That the more to your horizon you see the polar star, the closer you are to the equator. If you see a bird in the middle of the sea, it is because there is land in the vicinity of where it flies. Respect and love for animals, trees, and the earth, and the elements that give us life. Teach children all of this before giving them a cell phone, because the cell phone runs out and the signal gets lost. Wisdom is never lost. Let us not lose them the connection through words, through poetries, through our intelligence, I will say, to our super intelligence, our brain. And Metamorphosis does not allow chat GPT versus Metamorphosis does not allow internet, Google content. because we all have a superpower brain running 24 hours, but it is up to us to provide it with diesel fuel, whatever it needs, to our own inner hidden talents. So this is all for Kavya Guftugu today, and thank you so much, everyone, for bringing light to you, and thank you, Prachi, for being here. Hope to see your more verses flowing here on the ocean of metamorphosis now. And Shakuntala ma'am, hope to have you
Thank
again
you.
on another session. Definitely, we are having another session on the 16th of April. 16th of April, we are having a session on World Health Day. I want people to participate, create awareness on what is actually the definition of health and how good health and mental health can be created to our own hidden nuggets of life or whatever we say. So each one will have their own perspective. Looking forward to maximum participation on that show, bringing out wisdom learning, wisdom education, and beyond learnings. So thank you so much, everyone. Wonderful
Thank you
having
so
you
much.
all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Sonal.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
and
you.
a very happy birthday
Thank you
again
so much, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
in
Advance
advance.
birthday wishes.
I'm going to spank her now one after this. Thank you
Before
so
we
Happy
much.
go,
birthday, Sonal.
before we go, just a minute. If you just give me a minute, I didn't know that it was your birthday, but I have a very short little song for you. Here it goes. Sonal has a birthday. Sonal has a birthday. She's 1 year older than she was before. Sonal, happy birthday. Sonal, happy birthday. We hope that you will have 100 more.
So much, everyone. Thank you.
Birthday
I had
wishes to ma'am.
I had wonder not to share anything, but anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being a part
Thank
of
you.
today's wonderful
Thank
show.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Yes.
See you
Thank
day,
you.
Thank you.
everybody. It was great to
Thanks.
be with
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
you.
Bye.
Don't take a
Bye.
Take
screenshot of
care.
everyone.
Bye-bye. Nice
Sonal,
meeting you
Bye-bye.
all.
Thank
Thank you.
yeah,
you.
take a screenshot. Everyone smile.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. I'll take it right on 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see what it looks like before we go. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
1 second. Let's just look at it. Let's see if it came out good. All right. So we'll go here. Yes, we're adorable. Oh, wait. Brachi, you were getting your head down. Everybody keep their head up and show lots of teeth. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Same thing. Well. Okay, that's the best we can do. I'm gonna try one
Thank
more.
you.
Well, thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks.
good day.